guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview. I am a sucker for indie rock. I've been into that genre since I was in freshman year of college, possibly junior year. So I figured for my next musician, it was only right to interview an indie band I found called Emily Band. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited, genuinely.
All right. Before we get into the main thing, for those that may not know you, do you mind telling a bit of your story in your own words?
Yeah.
You want to go for
Okay.
it?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Okay. I feel like maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm Emily. My pronouns are she, they.
I'm Cameron or Cam or Cammy. My pronouns are they, them, theirs.
And we've been playing music together for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Emily, the band, has a third member named Abby. She plays drums, but she lives in a different town right now. So we are the representatives for
Yes.
today.
Yeah. And as for a little bit of our story, me and Em met when we were like 14, 15. Emily's just a little older than me, about 6 months older than me. And yeah, we were like friends, and then there was one day back then where Emily played a little bit of her original songwriting for me, and I just like fell so in love with it and was like, I need to work with this amazing person who makes amazing music. And then Abby is also a dear friend of mine. Me and Abby have also been playing music together for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple years down the line when we were about 18, 19. What year was that when we finally like
When we recorded Messy, I was 18 and you were 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first single that we worked on together. At the time, it was just me and Emily. We brought our drummer Abby into the loop. 2021?
Yeah.
At the year of 2021, because we just were like, it just seemed so perfect with how long I've been playing with Abby and how long I've been playing with Emily. And then we've just been going as a three-piece band, Emily the band, from there. That's really when we entered more from the world of before I would say we were kind of more in the world of like indie pop or alternative pop. And we definitely do still have a heavy influence of pop in our sound. But I would say once we got Abby on that full drum kit, that's when things really took a turn and started to go more in the indie rock direction.
And look where we are now, which transitions beautifully into my next question for you. Do you have any experiences interacting with the autism community? I know you said one of the members was on the spectrum. Can you expand a little bit more on that?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I can. I'm actually I was really excited that you reached out to us because I myself am autistic and I also have ADHD. So I have the specific combo of being simultaneously on the autism spectrum and having ADHD, which is we can kind of be like its own little thing with these traits that kind of seem almost at times opposite, kind of pulling me in a lot of directions. But yeah, and I've always been surrounded by wonderful neurodivergent, but specifically autistic musicians and artists in our scene. I would say some of my favorite musicians and artists that I look up to are also autistic and are just like making the music industry work for the way that their brains work. What about you,
Ally! Yeah. One of my favorite people on the planet is autistic. And yeah, it's a good time.
And we both have ADHD.
Oh yeah.
We both have ADHD, so we're able to like I feel like we're able to like really see each other on the front of the ADHD side of things too.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and that's the goal at the end of the day. Hey, with what I do, which transitions beautifully into my next question for you. Emily the band's music often emphasizes authenticity and emotion. Do you think indie rock provides a unique space for neurodivergent musicians and fans to express themselves?
Oh, this is such a good question.
I don't know if it's indie rock specifically. I feel like music is such a expressive medium. I don't know, I haven't done like a poll or anything. I don't know if there's like a higher proportion of autistic indie rock musicians. um I really don't know. Do you have ideas?
Yeah, I definitely do. I do feel like certainly on one hand, it can be this like sanctuary space for neurodivergent people to express themselves, especially at shows. Um, like so much of the sensory experience of shows is so conducive to expressing yourself, especially as like a neurodivergent person. Like especially like I love when people come to our sets and like dance and move their bodies and like stim, because that's the energy that I always try to bring to other people's sets if I can, because I love moving my body to music. I always have, and it's always been a way that I've really like grounded myself. So I feel like on one hand, in the indie music scene, on one hand, it is this like sanctuary, safe space for people, and also just a safe place for people who may be feeling a really intense depth of emotion. I know like a kind of a common, obviously a common thing within specifically like just to specifically talk about ADHD and autism is like struggling more with emotional regulation, or just experiencing emotion like really deeply and really physically. And I feel like shows can be this safe space where everybody is just safe to experience those deep emotions, to cry if they need to cry, to move their bodies if they need to move their bodies, to sing along and express themselves. And also too, I do sometimes feel like, especially at like indie rock shows, there could definitely be some challenges for neurodivergent listeners and musicians too. Like it's just like super loud. Like I found that before I was playing a lot of shows, I didn't always go to a lot of shows because it was loud and crowded. And sometimes, oh, this is something we struggle with a lot. I am like super sensitive to lights. Like I will get like migraines and get like sick and nauseous and start getting really, really, really overwhelmed with like bright flashing or changing lights. So we sometimes have to talk to our like light techs and be like, hey, no flashing or changing lights, or Cam will start throwing up on stage. So it's like on one hand, I do feel like it is this sanctuary space. On the other hand, there are certainly like some very specific struggles as well that can be faced by like neurodivergent artists in this space, especially on like the sensory inaccessibility side and like physical inaccessibility side too. So I don't know, it's like a complicated question. So definitely it's like yes, yes, and I think there's areas where there is struggle as well.
I absolutely agree with that. It's how letting people know what accommodations you would prefer, which transitions beautifully into my next question for you. Social media has helped many independent artists build communities. How has that helped you connect with fans who may not feel represented in mainstream music spaces?
Mm. Um, I guess yeah, it helps us connect with those people who maybe don't live near us, or are friends of our friends, like mutuals, and find us through that way. But yeah, we've had many people tell us that they see themselves in us in like many types of ways, whether it be like us being queer or femme, or like neurodivergent of many flavors, and or just like the a lot of people comment on how like joyful our stage presence is, um which is very kind. But yeah, I feel like yeah, social media is a huge part of how we connect with people. But I think my favoritist of all is the in person, like when people, especially when people who started as just like online friends and fans. We had a friend out in from Oregon who was going on a road trip to get to college in Ohio, and they were able to stop by one of our shows. So yeah, having that like online into in person. Also an autistic fan that
Oh
did
wow.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that when I brought it up, but yeah, it's a great connection tool despite the like the algorithm and the difficulties of it all on social media.
Yeah, and like you were able to find us
Right.
through like online presence, and like we literally, when that email hit our inbox of you asking to interview us, we were like, what? Like, how did this person like find us? And like, also I didn't want to assume, but I was like, how did they know? Like, I was like, how did they know? How did they know that that I am that I'm autistic? But also like, if you saw me on stage, you'd know. Like, there are signs, right? But it's like, yeah, it's been I feel like social media, it does help bridge those physical gaps between people that we may have never had the chance to meet in person. And then we can create opportunities to either meet in person or get on a call or an interview. And I think that is really cool. Like Em said, despite, sometimes it can feel kind of discouraging. Like, it can feel a little bit like shouting into the void on social media, or kind of weird, or almost like you're kind of selling this very precious part of your heart, which is your music and your art. But it's definitely worth it to like have those personal connections that we've made. It's been really cool.
I absolutely agree. And I'm honestly just a dude who, if I see someone who I think would be a good fit to have on this platform, I shoot them an email, not knowing if they're autistic or not, unless it's common knowledge, like, say, Kellen Goff, who I interviewed this year, or Melody Guy, whose interview is coming out in November. I just shoot emails and hope for the best. If something comes of it, great. If not, I'm a stubborn dude. I just keep going until I get something, which is the goal at the end of the day for everyone. Anyways, that's going to do it for this interview, guys. Thank you so much to Em and Cam for coming on and sharing their perspectives. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Pick up our latest issue by going to autismdigest.com, and stay tuned for the audio file of this interview to be posted on our Spotify. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.